Vote Miracle Rank.
Practicing to beat somebody, we're practicing to beat everybody.
My expectation is we go out and dominate and create a nightmare and make people never want to play you again.
If you are a fan of another team and your coach is not out there doing everything that Kirby Smart is doing right now, you are already losing. You feel however you want to feel about that.
Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide for 4 quarters. They got to see us in our house for 4 quarters. They got to look us in the eye for 4. This is about us and our family and our house. This is about us. This is our mentality. We ain't backing down. We ain't running. Set a tone, send a message. This is our house. Physical toughness wins in football now. And if you in this room, you got it. And if you come in here, you better believe in it. Because this physical toughness, it's what makes the difference. Elite focus. That's all I'm doing to the guy across from me. I'm fixing to whip his ass. Not in my box, not today. It's about us. It's about our family. We attack. You take that helmet and you strike them. And you strike them and you strike them. That's how you get respect. Physically, I will break them.
It's Sunday night, and that means we are now 1 week closer to the college football season being here. So why not celebrate? The way we're going to celebrate tonight is looking back at, everything that happened this week in the world of Georgia football. And there is some stuff that might still be going on in terms of that. So we're going to get to all that. First thing I want to do, though, is make sure that I say hello to everybody who's in here with us, because this Sunday night show is a little bit different. We spend a lot more time chatting over here with whoever's with us in the chat and saying hello. So that's where we're going to begin. Carol, I see you in here. Welcome in, friend. It's good to see you. Bruce is in here. That's awesome. Timothy's in here doing work behind the scenes for me. I appreciate that, Timothy. I see Bruce. Then who else is that? Brian. Yes, Ryan's in here. Welcome in, Ryan. It's good to see you on a Sunday evening. Hopefully there'll be a few more people joining us. And if you haven't already left a message in the chat, jump on in here. Everybody's going to be nice to you, I promise. And just let us know where you're from. Let us know what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. What you thought about some of the stuff we talk about tonight, because there is some stuff going on. I know it feels like there's not a lot of college football stuff happening right now, but it's always there. There's always something to talk about. And like I said off the top, oh, hey, look, Kim jumped in here too. What's up, Kimberly? Welcome in. Good to see you. This is nice. I love it that we have people dropping in. Let's see here. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot going on this week, and we have to start with the thing that Kirby Smart bases the entire Georgia football program off of, the key part of the superstructure at Georgia, and that is high school recruiting. And I know that people are a little soured on the whole high school recruiting process because of NIL and that sort of thing. But if you take all that away, if you just pull it back and look at what actually matters in the game of football, it's players. And the way Georgia goes about building their program is through high school recruiting. And then they reward the people who stick around and play well for them. And that's where the whole NIL thing really carries weight at the University of Georgia. The weekend that's going on right now is like the kickoff, the big bang that gets everything started for Georgia football recruiting for the 2027 cycle. And that is the Scavenger Hunt weekend. So that's what we're going to start out with here tonight. Kirby Smart is out here building this program the best way he knows how, the way that has produced a couple of national championships, multiple SEC championships. And when you've had results like that, why in the world wouldn't you just keep on rolling? And Kirby just admitted as much recently when he said, look, we've been really good, but we haven't broken through. We haven't won the national championship. Just winning the SEC championship now at the University of Georgia is considered not good enough by a lot of Georgia fans, and in particular people outside the program. They just want to say that Georgia is on the backslide, right? But Kirby is going to keep doing what he's doing because he has a track record that it works. So if you're out here talking about the scavenger hunt weekend, if you're on social media at all, you know that this is the week that multiple 5-stars are in town. This is the week chock full of elite players who are coming in there, getting the really, really good extended look at what the University of Georgia is and what it's all about. And if you were paying attention to social media at all, you noticed that there was elite prospect after elite prospect posting pictures with Kirby, because the big thing is they do the little scavenger hunt around campus and they get to bond and compete with other teams to go see who can find coach first. And it's always a big hit. It's one of Kirby's favorite weekends of the year in terms of recruiting these players and recruiting their families. Because you'll notice it's not just Kirby and the player most of the time in these photos. It is Kirby and the squad that rolled in with the player, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, if you look here in this photo, you have a couple of wide receiver prospects. Amari Patterson is one of them out of South Carolina. If you look here, this is Gouda, who is the number 2 linebacker in the entire nation this year. He's here with a whole squad. Schumann jumped in the photo. There are a couple other recruits in this picture with them. And you can see that it's just a lot of fun. It's not hard to understand why this weekend is such a big deal for the recruits, because they get to really come on campus. They get to really get a feel for how to navigate the campus, what it looks like. And then ultimately you get to say, I found coach. And this is KJ Green, 5-star edge prospect from here in the state of Georgia. Clearly a position that is valued across college football. This is someone that Georgia really, really wants to be able to secure a commitment from. So it's, again, players on top of players. Here's 5-star quarterback out of the 2028 cycle, Jaden Wade, hanging out with Kirby. Now notice, and I don't know if it means anything or not, but in this photo, it's just Kirby and Jaden, right? I mean, that's your gem, right? Your jewel of the upcoming class. You got this 5-star quarterback in there. So it's clear that this is a huge weekend for Georgia football and that it is a big priority that the guys walk away from this weekend and their families walk away from this weekend knowing more about Georgia, feeling good about Georgia and the opportunities that might be at the University of Georgia for them. So again, I'd love to hear what y'all think. Do you think recruiting matters? Do you think that this sort of thing still matters? Because Kirby, just in the last couple of weeks, he told us, yes, there are players who are going to value short-term financial gain over long-term opportunities at the University of Georgia. And those guys, Georgia's going to let go. And he said that when he is looking at who to recruit, he tells his coaching staff, I need it to be at least 50-50. Guy who is 50% about the relationship and then 50% about the rest of it. Playing time, NIL, all that sort of thing. So if the coaching staff is going out and evaluating players and then they issue offers to these guys, you have to know that based off of Kirby's words themselves, these guys are 50-50 guys when it comes to relationship. So that means that days like this absolutely matter. You get out there, you hang out with them, you get to know them a little bit. You get to know mama and daddy and the rest of the family, whoever the support system is. And that is how you get these guys to commit. And I know people still devalue commitments, but I had Roddy back. He had him on the show back in, I think it was February. And we were having a conversation about Kimon Spell, who is a 5-star recruit out of Pennsylvania, flipped from Penn State to the University of Georgia and is a gem in the 2027 class. And we were having this discussion around his commitment, and Roddy made a good point. That is, if a guy commits to your school, it dramatically increases the chances that he will ultimately sign with your school. If he doesn't ever commit, then it dramatically lowers the opportunity for that young man to actually sign on the dotted line when National Signing Day comes. So the takeaway from that, I understand that things change and commitments flip, but if you want any shot at getting these guys on your campus ultimately, then you need to hope that the coaching staff can secure a commitment from them in the beginning. Yes, there's more to be done. It's a long time until signing day, but the numbers just bear out the facts that once a kid commits, then the pull to that university is that much stronger when it actually is time to sign on the dotted line. So just keep that in mind. I mean, people poo-poo it all the time these days, but that is still a fact in the game of recruiting. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. Let's see what's happening over here in the chat real quick. What do we got? I love the chat because you guys are talking up, catching up with one another. I love that. I love that a lot. Let's see. Bandit's in here. Welcome in, Bandit. Good to see you. I don't know that I've seen you in here in a minute. It's good to see you, friend. What else? Who else we got in here? And Bandit asks, what's your opinion on the recent decommits? I talked about this last night in the exclusive How About Them Dogs Plus live stream that we held. And essentially, I come down on it like this. Decommitments are part of the game, and it depends on the lens you want to look at it through. Are you going to be concerned about the fact that a young man chooses to take a monetary short-term gain, or are you going to trust in the evaluation process that Kirby Smart and his coaching staff have put in place? If you're asking me if I think there's a wave of bad news that's still coming, I don't. If you're asking me if Georgia's lost their fastball when it comes to recruiting, I don't think that either. I just think that it's not a good fit, and that's fine because, again, there is a track record in place of evaluation for these players and getting the right kind of guy on campus at the University of Georgia more often than not. And ultimately, this year, the 2026 season, I mean, this is all fine and good in theory. My theory is just as good as anybody else's right now. But this is the time, this is the year in 2026 where this Georgia model is really going to be put to the test on the field. This is going to be the first time where we see whether or not the high school recruitment, development, and then you reward with NIL on the back end, whether that model is good enough to keep the quality of player on your campus that you need to go win big in the fall. Obviously, there are other things that go into whether you win or lose a game over the course of the season, but we're going to find out because there are a lot of people out there who think that if you're not bringing in 30 people out of the portal and you're not just throwing money around at everybody, that you are not in the game. I am not one of those people, but I think this year is a year that's really going to sort of bear that out, the proof of concept for what Kirby Smart and the University of Georgia are doing. So the decommitments, I don't have an opinion on anybody in particular. From what I gather, the outhouse commitment was probably a blessing in disguise, or decommitment was probably a blessing in disguise. It appears that Dante Wright, and whatever he said, he's clearly a great player, but apparently money wasn't a factor here too. So he made his choice, and I hope it works out best for him. We're going to touch on this a little bit later with some other news that came out this week. But at the end of the day, Georgia's going to do what they do. They have a proven track record of success, and it's weekends like this that make that success possible. So we will see. We will see where Georgia winds up at the end of all this. We will see how the product looks on the field this fall, and then I think we'll be able to make a better judgment, not just about recruiting in general, the decommits and things, but just about the model of what Georgia's doing and how effective it can be moving forward. But I appreciate that question, Bandit, and it's one where I don't lose any sleep over it, frankly. I want the guys who want to be at Georgia, and I trust the evaluation of the coaches. So if they're hanging in there, then I'm all for it. Let's see. What's going on? Can we get a 5-star quarterback to stick? I hear you, Bruce. It seems like they stick with us until that money comes. Well, you're looking at one. I mean, the guy on the screen right now, Jaden Wade, is a 2028 guy. I know it's a long time away. He has no plans to reclass or anything at this point, as far as I know. So he's not going to be in this class. He'll be in the next class, and Georgia's still looking for that 27 quarterback option. It'll be interesting to see what they do there. You never know. You might end up with a guy like Bryson Beaver, whose commitment to Georgia, well, transfer technically to Georgia back earlier this year, could prove to be a huge thing for Georgia in terms of keeping quarterbacks in the pipeline moving forward. So maybe they wait till late in the cycle to choose someone. Maybe they decide to chase somebody and get a flip or something down the road. But this guy right here, this is your next 5-star opportunity, Jaden Wade. So we'll see if he holds true to his commitment and whether or not he wants to truly be at Georgia. We will find out. Yeah, Carol, I think Scavenger Hunt is a big deal, and it's a major way for those recruits to fall in love with Athens. I agree with you there 100%, because when you're in Athens and the weather's nice and it's really, y'all know, if you've ever been there, it is really just a fantastic scene all the way around. Yeah, I'm with you, Bandit. You assume somebody's going to come calling, but you never know, and hopefully they'll decide to stick with you. I need to sign back. Oh, well, what's going on here, Bandit? You say I need to sign up for your subscription. The one, discontinued. Are you talking about Plus? Because if so, there is a link in the description below this video. Just click that link. It'll take you to the page and you can make your choice there. That would be the quickest way to get there. But we would love to have you over there, friend. Again, we had an exclusive live stream last night for all patrons. And then next Sunday, I think it is, we're going to have another exclusive live stream for the Plus tier patrons. So go take a look, see what you like. Again, would love to have you over there if you choose to join us. Mickey Wilbanks is in here. Good to see you back in, friend. He says, "Go Dogs" from Sand Mountain, Alabama. Welcome back, Mickey. It's good to see you, friend. Hey, there's the Doghouse Podcast. Hadn't heard from you in a minute there, friend. Yeah, they'll be okay in recruiting. In Kirby, we trust. Absolutely. I appreciate you checking in with us tonight on this Sunday evening. This is different. I don't think you've made it to another Sunday. This is different. Wednesdays are very much about, the podcast and getting that organized. Tonight, though, we hang out, we talk about all this stuff, and whatever the viewers want to get into, we will get into it. So I'm happy you're here. David Williams is back in. Welcome in, friend. Good to see you. Looking nice. Georgia red, okay, all day. I'm with you. Texas will come for him. You think so? You think so? Yeah, well, I saw a number this week, and I started to put it in the show, where Texas A&M currently has five-star rated players in the 27 class. Good for them. They just got one this week in the Matthews kid, the tackle. But I thought to myself, didn't we do this just a couple years ago with Texas A&M? They went out and dumped all this money, and then all those dudes wound up transferring out because Texas A&M consistently has done less with more than any college football program in the country. We'll see if it goes that way with Coach Elko. But I don't know, man. Just because you spend money doesn't mean you're going to get the rings. We know that. And yes, Carol, we want guys that want to be at Georgia. No doubt about that. Yeah. Bandit makes a great point right here. This is a very rational point. And I'm going to try to throw it up on the screen here. Hopefully you guys can see it. But he's like, the thing about both of these recent decommitments is that there was something else there, right? There was a dream school, or there was a family legacy, or I can play at home and be the man kind of thing. And I think all those things factor in, especially when you're a young man. That's just who's used to being the star. That's something that factors in for sure. What's up, Tim? Good to see you make it over here on a Sunday evening. Glad to have you in here. And there's Ryan talking to Doghouse. I love it. I live it. Yeah, exactly, Bruce. Raiola, he was at Nebraska, then he jumped in the portal. He's off to Oregon, which is why Bryson Beaver is at Georgia. So it's a series of dominoes. And again, I'm not getting paid all that money to go make these evaluations, okay? The coaches are, and they have a good track record of doing it. I'm going to let them do their job. That's what I think about it. Yeah, I'm with you, Mickey. I mean, the money's coming and they'll do what they have to do. That's the thing that is, and again, this is a point I made on the stream last night, so I'm not going to go into it too deep here. I just will not begrudge any individual, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's a stud softball player for Georgia. I don't care if it's a basketball player or a football player or any of the other sports that offer NIL opportunities. Okay. I don't care. Here's the thing. I just know that I'm never going to begrudge any of those players for making any choice they feel they have to make in terms of NIL and immediate funds, because you or I do not know the circumstance that they are in right now. And it could be dire, and they may not have the luxury of looking ahead 3 years and waiting for a payoff then. That's just a fact. So if a young man or a young woman decides they have to do something right now because their immediate situation demands it, then again, good luck. I hope it works out for you. But I think sometimes people, and this is not uncommon, y'all know this, they lose the perspective of humanity when it comes to this. And it's simply, are you on my team or not? I want you. And if you're there, great. And if you're not, you're awful. And there's a lot more to it than that. So I'm not sure that's exactly what you were saying here, Mickey, about take it easy with the monies and stuff, but that would be my take it easy on it. Because again, I'm never going to badmouth a kid for making the choice that they think is best for them. I hope that whoever is advising them is doing it out of, the best of intentions. And I hope that the young person makes the best choice for them at the time. And if that's Georgia, outstanding. And if it's not, then best of luck. And I hope you're happy with your choice. That's right. I see you guys talking about softball and baseball in there. Don't worry. We're going to get to that. We're going to get over there. We're going to get there. Oh, hey, Bandit, have a good rest, man. Have a good rest. I hope you sleep well. That's right, Carol. You can show them. They got to make their own choices, though. James Moore, I didn't see your name in there. Good to see you, friend. Says, I'd value learning and developing at UGA rather than the money. It will be there. That's true. But again, there's that, where are you today? And I have to allow for that. I can't. I understand that there are some people who have things that have to happen right now. And I understand that. Yeah. You guys are getting ahead of me here a little bit, but that's okay. Since we're talking about recruiting, let's bounce back over here and look at what did happen this week on this front for Georgia. This is the big recruiting weekend, but earlier this week, Georgia secured a recruit from a linebacker from South Florida, Tamoris Campbell Jr. And again, you hear what you always hear. Oh, another 3-star, Georgia's falling off. Well, I'll just caution you against that and remind you of the 3-stars that Georgia has taken, developed, and then put into the league that are now making tens of millions of dollars annually. So, y'all can poo-poo that all you want. That's what happens now. Am I saying that's this kid's future? No. But I'm telling you that I absolutely value the evaluations of Coach Smart and his staff. So if they said, hey, young man, you've got a committable offer from the University of Georgia, and he said, give me that, then I'm fine with that. Come on up here, be a part of the program, because that's what we're looking for. And that was some good news. And again, coming off of this weekend where you've got all of this top tier talent in here, it's one of those things where you think, man, I hope we get a recruit coming out of this weekend, or the big splash is coming. We just don't know when. Maybe, maybe not. But the thing about this weekend is that it sets the table for down the road, right? If they just can't get it out of their head and they're like, man, that was awesome. I really liked being there. This is where those big bang weeks come from in June and July for Georgia recruiting. Get these guys on campus right now, and then they just keep working the system. And then come summer, it seems to happen every year. You'll have a week or two or several days in a row where Georgia gets commit, and they're just making waves all across college football. And that's how they end up at the end of the year with a really good class. And I just think that's the plan, like always. So we will see how it shakes out coming off of this weekend. But there are players out there like this young man who are like, yep, Georgia's where it's at, and that's where I want to be. And he pulled the trigger and went ahead and joined Kirby and the guys this week. Now, here's the thing about Kirby Smart. That part of football is great. Recruiting, fun, fantastic, good time for everybody, fun to follow in the offseason. Winning, he's getting it done, no doubt. 2 titles, 2 national championships, right? 3 SEC championships, absolutely getting it done. But when you're the head coach, the CEO of this multi-million-dollar corporation that is Georgia football, it's not always great news. And we were reminded of that this week with the arrest of Jamarlee Riddle. And listen, you can say whatever you want about the perception of the university. People from the outside absolutely will, and that's their right. But as a Bulldog fan, I, just like you, I don't want to hear any more of this. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of hearing about it. Who knows why this young man made the choices he made, but he absolutely did. And as you can see in the headline here, it was drug charges, had marijuana in the car, it was speeding. You know, where have we heard that before? This is not the kind of thing that needs to be happening. Now, I don't know this full story. I read the article. You can go read it for yourself. And they talk about how nervous he was in the vehicle, how he said he didn't have anything in the car, but then gave them permission to search. All this stuff. Go read it for yourself. Get the ins and outs of it. But I don't want to hear about it. This is a young man who was brought in and expected to be competing for playing time at the University of Georgia this fall. And then something like this goes down. Now, are you going to kick him off the team for something like this? Probably not. I mean, again, I don't know all the details, but probably not. But at the very least, if he's a good kid and he made a mistake, then he has now hurt his football team. He's here to play football and eventually graduate, whether that's when he's finished, like in 4 years, or after he has an NFL career and comes back to graduate. That's the goal, right? So he was brought here to play. And now, based on his poor decision-making, at a minimum, he has hurt his football team, because if he stays on the team, he's going to be like reprimanded for these choices, these bad decisions. And that, if you're Kirby Smart, hurts on multiple levels, because you had made the choice to bring him in and you said, okay, this guy fits. And then something like this happens and it's like, what are you looking at, coach? And that's a fair assessment. But at the end of the day, the blame doesn't lie with Kirby Smart. The blame is on the young man for making a bad choice. And the punishment will be, he will miss time. That's if he's allowed to stay on the team. He will miss time. And that hurts Georgia, right? That hurts the depth. It hurts the rotation possibilities. It just hurts. And it hurts public perception. So I looked today when I was finding this information, to make sure I could share it with you guys. I looked across Twitter and the way people were responding to it. And I'm like, see, I mean, just incredulously pointing at Georgia as if no other university anywhere has any kind of an issue. And that just is what it is when you're Kirby Smart and Georgia at this point. right? You have elevated the program to this point where anything that happens is going to get people's attention. And I'm not discounting this activity at all. Okay. You screwed up. So none of this is okay. It just speaks to all that Kirby has to manage, right? In terms of maintaining this football program the way it is. And it's not always easy to do that because these young men, and this is in no way any sort of an excuse, but these young men are anywhere between 18 and 23, 24 maybe. And I'm just telling you, having been a young man, you don't always make a good choice. You got to learn, and these guys are learning. And unfortunately, they're learning in a way that's very public for them and their family, and is in a way that shines a bad light on the University of Georgia. But it is what it is. They've earned it. This is something they have to deal with. And Kirby now, whenever the availability comes together again for him to meet with the media, these things will come up again. And it's just something that Georgia's going to have to keep dealing with. And it's unfortunate. And I wish that weren't the case. So let's look back over here in the chat, see what's shaking, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're young people and they make stupid decisions. The good thing here is that thankfully we can say, they said he was driving erratically, dangerously. The good thing we can say here is that no one was injured and that he hopefully can learn a lesson here and move forward with it. But, we will see. There you go. And Tim's on it. I mean, people make bad mistakes, and it, as hard as it is, it's incumbent on us to try, I think, to remember to give a little grace, because again, even if he's wrong in every way, we still don't understand his thought process or what made him do that. And we never will know. And so I just, I'm not trying to pile on and make it worse, but that is part of what happened this week in Georgia football. And that's what we do, is talk about what happens each week in Georgia football, good or bad, because we're going to own it just like the players and coaches have to. And something else that I want to own is the fact that How About Them Dogs Plus is up and running, and people seem to like it. I promise you, friends, you will get stuff here that you will not get anywhere else. So if you are looking for a deeper conversation about the game, if you are looking for the opportunity to get in there and really hang out with me and the rest of the members over at Plus and talk football in a way that you don't get anywhere else. Because again, 25 years on the sidelines, in the press boxes, in the tunnels after the games, there's a perspective there that I can bring that not really anybody else has. So if that's the kind of information you're looking for, the kind of perspective about Georgia football you want, then I hope you'll come check us out over on Plus. And by the way, did I mention there's a private community? There are, again, live streams that are exclusive to members. There are premium merchandise giveaways that you're going to be eligible for once you jump in the pool. There's just so much good stuff over there. I hope you guys will give it a chance. Come give it a sign up for free, check it out, see what's going on. And I think that if you hang out with us for a little while, you will see why we all enjoy being over there so very much. So come on over. How About Them Dogs Plus? Link in the description below. And you guys tried to jump ahead and you tried to talk about Jared Curtis a little bit. And I was saying, listen, we're going to get there, and I'm as good as my word. Here we are. Jared Curtis. And hopefully this is the last time I have to talk about Jared Curtis, because this is a Georgia football show. But because he was committed to Georgia for such an extended period of time, and it went down the way it went down when he decided to decommit, I still think it's worth talking about a little bit when he makes news. And because we're learning more and more and more as this thing goes along about where he did not just up and decide Vandy's where I want to be. That's not how this thing happened. I mean, he was all in on Georgia. He was going to be compensated very fairly. He said over and over and over, I am with Georgia, right? Just all the things. And then there was a weekend, and you might remember, where Vanderbilt had game day there. And Nate Bargatze, who is a comedian who is kind of blown up in the last year or so as the guy. And he's fine. He's fine. He's got a bit or two that I enjoy. And so no hate on him. He's a Vandy fan, long suffering. But when he and others, Diego Pavia, so on and so forth, are out there dropping this young man's name and talking about it in such a way that, hey, while I'm here on national television, Jared Curtis, you need to commit to Vandy. When you're saying stuff like that, it just feels icky. Give you the straight up ick, if you know what I mean. And not that doesn't happen everywhere, but it doesn't happen that way. And so it felt funny. Well, this week, we learned a little bit something else about what had a hand in Curtis making his decision to flip to Vanderbilt. And it's all part of that NIL game. I mentioned Nate Bargatze, who was on College Game Day that day. Again, the it comic right now in terms of stand-up. And he's got a new movie coming out. And it turns out that he has promised Jared Curtis a role in that film if he came to Vanderbilt, and, you know, that could be part of his NIL compensation. He would be paid for being in this movie. Plus the cool factor, I guess, of being in a film, right? So I get that the young man wanted to play for his hometown. I get the fact that he could go be a big fish in a still relatively small pond. I get that once Clark Lee signed, they were going to just back the dump truck up and pay this kid whatever, because that's what Vanderbilt has to do to get these kind of players. It's not like Georgia, Ohio State, or Oregon, or any of those other places who don't have to do that because of who and what the program is. Vanderbilt can't lean on that. So they have to pay premium prices for these players. And part of that, as we learned this week, is that they had the hookup. And Bargatze, again, longtime Vanderbilt fan, said, I got you, bro. And he's going to just bring him on, put him in the movie, write that into his NIL deal, and the young man's getting paid. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying the longer we get, further away we get from that whole thing, the more we learn about how it went down. And it'll be fun to see old Curtis and Vanderbilt roll into Athens this year. I just wonder how that game's going to go. I think people are going to be watching. So, again, make your choices. Good luck with them. That's all I'm saying. Now, this is a football show, but there's stuff happening at the University of Georgia right now that, by golly, we're going to take a second and give a little applause to, because I tell you what, the way the softball team is going about their business right now is something to be proud of if you are associated with the University of Georgia. They went out in the regionals and took care of business. They beat Charleston. They ruled Charleston in the second game to advance. They took on Clemson today, hammered them. They are on to the super regionals, to where I think they're going up to play in Knoxville. So the Georgia Bulldogs, the ladies softball team, they are out there just killing it. If you haven't watched them play, they are as exciting as anything we got going on right now. The way they play the game is fantastic. They can hit the long ball, and they are just the most excited, the loudest group that you're ever going to want to see. They had a great run in the SEC tournament. Then they got into regionals, handled their business there, and now they're on to super regionals. And again, congratulations to the ladies. They have done a wonderful job. And every time they are on the screen, every time the games are on, me and mine, we are sitting in here cheering for the dogs and watching those ladies play. So continued success. If you didn't know, now you know. They are out there doing good work in the name of the University of Georgia. So that was the first thing I wanted to point to. The other thing, of course, would be the baseball team. The men's baseball team, we talked about this last week. They were regular season SEC champions, and now they have secured the #1 seed in this week's, as kicks off this week, SEC baseball tournament. So the Dogs riding high behind Daniel Jackson and several others out there. The pitching staff was great. They're still hammering the ball, averaging 10 runs a game. They have had more 3-home run games than, or was it 3-run home run? Whatever it was. They've had more of those than anybody else in college baseball this year. I believe it's 3 home run games than anybody else in college baseball this year. And they are also just a whole lot of fun to watch. But what's more than just hitting the long ball, they play really, really good defense. They are very gritty. They play a hard-nosed brand of baseball, and they can beat you in a bunch of different ways. Like, they aren't just swinging for the fences. They're shooting line drives to the off field. They know what they're doing when the bat's in their hands, and it is just a whole lot of fun to watch. And again, defensively, they are very, very good. Georgia has as good a shot as anybody, you'd have to think, at making it to Omaha this year to play in the College Baseball World Series. I hope that's where they end up because, man, they are certainly a lot of fun to watch. So if you hadn't checked them out, please find a way to do that and make it happen because these Dogs, man, they are getting after it. They, just like the football team, them Dogs are hell. There's no doubt. Let me jump back over here in the chat and see what you guys are up to. Again, I appreciate everybody being here with me. This is a good time. Sunday shows are fun because we're just counting them down week after week. We're going to be there before you know it, getting to college football season. But until then, this is one of the channels, one of the few who, A, focus exclusively on Georgia Bulldogs football, and B, do it year round. So if you want that, if that's what you're all about, this is the place to be. Let's see. What else we got going on over here? Tim. See, now, Tim, high five, Tim, from distance. Talking about being over on How About Them Dogs Plus. Those giveaways, no joke, fellas. Premium. And we are just getting started. I'm just letting you know, Tim and everybody else, just getting started. Little Birdie told me that there's an opportunity for some big stuff to head our way before too long. So just put that in your back pocket and hold on to it because that's some good stuff we got going on over there. Yeah, Bruce, time will tell about Curtis. Time will tell. I mean, people said the same thing about Raiola, and it certainly appears to be the case that they were right. We will learn about Curtis. He can flat play. I have no doubt in his game. It's just, you can't, it's not about you, friend. It's got to be about the team. So we'll see how he handles that, being the leader of the band up there at Vanderbilt. Exactly. Exactly, Tim. Talking about Vanderbilt. Exactly. Let's see. I'm with you, Bruce. I hope Jared is the starter, and I think he will be. I think Jared Curtis will be the starter by the time they get to Athens. But we will see. They've got to make their own choices. Absolutely, Tim. Again, I hope you guys are watching softball and baseball, man. It is so much fun right now to watch them. I am thoroughly enjoying this time of year. I'm not even going to joke with you because I've told you guys repeatedly that I am a hockey fan. So my Colorado Avalanche are in the playoffs, and don't come at me. I've been an Avalanche fan since they moved to Colorado, all the way back to when I was in high school. So I'm a legit Avs fan. I don't team jump. The Avs are rocking and rolling. They're moving into the next round of the playoffs. They're going to take on the Vegas Golden Knights, and that's going to be one heck of a series coming up here. So I'm loving that. But now I've still got softball right in the middle of everything. I told you we watch all those games. Baseball, same deal. If they're on, we're going to watch them because they're so much fun to keep an eye on. I mean, yeah, Major League Baseball is fantastic. I love it. I would love to be able to watch the Braves more often, but I'm not going to chase them all over the place. So right now I am filling my cup with Georgia baseball, softball, and the hockey playoffs, man. That's what I'm focused on. And before I know it, I'm going to look up, and it's going to be media days. We're going to have SEC spring meetings, and we're going to have SEC media days. And I just cannot wait to get out there and get into that stuff, because that is always fun. See, and here's my man. All right, look, people, I tell you guys, hello, Tyrus. Thanks for jumping in here and saying hello. Friends, I want to introduce you to Tyrus Reddish. We were out last Sunday, or was it 2 Sundays ago? I forget. Was last week? Yeah, last week was Mother's Day. So we were out last Sunday, and the family was having a good time, and Mr. Reddish here came up and said hello, and he was concerned because it was Mother's Day. He wasn't trying to like interfere with our stuff, but y'all know Mrs. Beast, Alice, and the girls, they are awesome. And they were like, no, come on in, say hey. And I had the opportunity to talk to Tyrus for a few minutes there. When I tell you, please come say hello. If you see us out somewhere, come say hello, because I love to meet you. I mean it. And I think Tyrus will back me up on this and say, absolutely, Randy is looking forward to it. So thank you, Tyrus, for making it in here with us tonight. I appreciate that. You hanging out with us. That's awesome. And let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Something cool has happened. Here we go. Ba-boom. El Capitan Rafucho. Thank you for the super chat, man. That is awesome. I appreciate that. It is always so great when people decide to support the show this way. And here's the cool thing, El Capitan. For the price of this super chat, you can come be a member over at Plus. Just saying. But thank you so much for jumping in here with a super chat. He says, salute everyone. Raph in the building. This is a great show. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Thank you so very much for jumping in here. That is awesome. Lifetime Feeders is in here. Welcome. See, now Lifetime, when I think of this handle, I associate it, and I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just getting it wrong, but I associate it with being over on TikTok. So thank you so much for choosing to come over here and see us on a Sunday night and hang out with us over here on YouTube. I know I see you in the chat too, or in the comments too, but I think about you on TikTok, man. So it's good to see you over here. That's awesome. You guys are making me happy here on a Sunday. Got some folks in here who, I love seeing, because I see folks all over the different platforms, and I love it when y'all choose to come say hello. That makes me happy. I see we got, over 30 folks in here. Only 12 thumbs up, though. If you will, and you like what we're doing, please hit the thumbs up. Tell a friend, share the show. Subscribe if you haven't, because signals like that tell YouTube that more Georgia Bulldog fans need to come see what we're doing. I would appreciate it. What do we got here? Let's see. There's Ryan jumping back in here saying, what's up? Nice. And look, see, this is what I'm talking about. Appreciate that, Carol. This community is awesome. You guys are like high-fiving all through the chat and stuff. Like, yeah, I love that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And Bruce high-fiving, what's up? Tyra saying, no problem. Randy is awesome. Thanks for being so pleasant. Man, you were awesome. The girls, just so you know, Tyrus, we headed out that night, but after the fact, we were talking about it, and the girls were like, man, it was cool that he came up and said hello, and here's the truth. They did not want to interrupt our conversation, but they had lots of things they wanted to say to you. They wanted to say, thanks for coming up. They wanted to know how your day, they had all kinds of questions, and they were like, but you guys were talking, so we let you have it. And I was like, well, thank you, ladies. Yeah, but they enjoyed you coming up to say hello, man. That was awesome. Again, if you guys see us out somewhere, don't hesitate. Come see us. Now, something I want to mention tonight that I didn't put it in the slides, but there were a couple, and there have been a couple of others that have kind of happened and got lost in the wash. But all those Georgia Bulldogs that went and got drafted last month, or I guess technically, no, it was last month. They got drafted last month. They're starting to sign their rookie deals, and we're getting information about how much these deals are worth. And this week, we learned that Oscar Delp with the Saints, he was drafted in the 3rd round. He signed his deal for a cool $7.2 million. 7.2, friends, for yet another tight end who I honestly believe is one of the sleepers in this draft. I know there are people out there saying they felt like he was a bit of a reach in the third round. I think Oscar Delp is going to be one hell of an NFL player. Just my opinion. We'll see how it goes. But he signed for 7.2 on his rookie deal. And his teammate, who was also drafted by the New Orleans Saints, Christian Miller, his deal was worth 11.8. 11.8. Friends, if you come to Georgia and you handle your business, the NFL knows what you're all about, and you're going to have an opportunity to go make hay once you get there. So bring it back to that discussion about the model and who has to have, their money up front right now, or who can choose to think about the future and what the future holds, right? Because you think about a guy like Oscar. We can talk about both of them. First, Christian Miller, think back a couple years, it was rumored he was going to jump into the transfer portal because Southern California had made a big offer to him. And he decided to stay. And then he wound up having a really solid career at Georgia, and that turned into $11.8 million for him because of his NFL draft pick. And Oscar Delp, same deal. Had to sit behind Brock Bowers, right? Had to sit alongside Lawson Lucky, share balls, all this kind of stuff. And they just keep recruiting all these top-tier tight ends, and Oscar's fighting for his life. But he separated himself because he's an absolute demon as a blocker. He is vastly undervalued as an athlete. And when he is the best teammate, or one of, on the entire squad, he is cheering for his teammates at every turn. Selfless, team me kind of guy who can flat get it done when he has an opportunity. So I just think that he's going to be a great NFL player. I think Christian Miller is going to be a really good NFL player. And I think the Saints got a couple of really quiet, low-key quality draft picks right there in those two Georgia Bulldogs. Just my take. Just saying. It's one of those things that guys, we know them better than most. And just based off of what we've seen them do, I am here for it. Oh my goodness. You guys are fun. What are you saying here, Bruce? I'm gonna put this on the screen so I can read it. Said we had a blast on the Plus stream last night. Felt like chatting with old friends. I loved every second of it. Hey man, that's fantastic. It really is like hanging out in the living room together. And that is what Plus is for. That's the difference. We can't do that on YouTube. We can do that over there. And I appreciate you showing up. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was awesome. That's right. Ryan knows Oscar. It's good to hear he's doing well. Hate the Saints, Bruce? Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not a Falcons fan. I don't hate the Saints or anything. Maybe you hate them for a different reason. I don't know. But the Saints for me are just another team. So, but it was great. It was great for those young men. Thanks, Carol. See, y'all just tag team, and it was awesome over there. That's what we love to hear. And I promise I'm working to make it better. Y'all know this. I'm working to make it as good as I can possibly make it. Timothy joins the party, says he agrees. Thanks, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. To be honest, it's the first time I've seen your show. Great takes. You're awesome. Much respect and love. Bro, thank you. That's awesome. That is what we're talking about right there. Because when people wander in, I want you to be like, this is kind of nice. I'm going to hang out for a minute. And that's exactly what we want. So seriously, friend, if you like it, check out the YouTube channel, find us on the socials, dive in with both feet, and I hope you'll check out Plus, because it is a good time. No doubt. He is very nice, Tim. See, you're right here. All these dudes, by the way, because of the opportunities I've had to meet these young men and hang out with them, both as a reporter covering the team and then also as an affiliate over at Georgia Sports Autographs, to meet these guys and spend a little time with them. It's not forever, and in one lane we're working, and then the other lane, they're working, it is what it is, but all of them are just really fine young men. And when you have an opportunity to meet their families too, it's cool. It's just really cool. Humble and, the humility, those are the words that I would use too, Tim. Absolutely. No joke, Timothy. No joke. Carol's like, and Carol, I don't mean any disrespect here, but Carol's like the house mom. She's like, y'all come hang out. It'll be fine. I appreciate that, Carol. Oh, me. That's awesome. There he is. See, Scuttlebutt. See, I was wondering if you were going to make it in here. All the way from Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, friends. It's our man. I think it's a man. If I'm not, let me know. Scuttlebutt jumping in here and saying what's up, saying hello. I love the fact that we get to say hello to Hawaii every week, man. That's awesome. When I started looking in the chat, I was like, oh man, where's Scuttlebutt? And there you are. Good to have you in here, friend. So good to have you in here. Oh, see, and you guys are being kind, and I appreciate it. Tim giving me another thumbs up for the plus efforts over there. It really is. I promise. It's a good time, and we are only going to make it better. See, and Scuttlebutt, I look forward to seeing you on the Sunday show. Life is life, but I'd love to see you anywhere and everywhere you have an opportunity to come sit in with us. On Wednesdays, head on over to Plus, whatever you want to do, because I look forward to hearing from you and Hawaii every week, no doubt. Okay, see, Bruce is a Falcons fan. Now it makes a little more sense, Bruce. I got you. What else? Who else is in here? What else is going on over here? Yeah, see, high fives all around. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, everybody. I'll do better next time. I see 14 thumbs up, and there's like 30 folks in here. I'll try to be better next time. But I think we're going to put a bow on it tonight. We've already been going about an hour. So I just want to say again how much I appreciate you guys being here. And we'll keep our ear to the ground. We'll keep looking for whatever's going on in terms of actual news. Could be some recruiting news this week. We're getting close. We're not there yet, but we're getting close to SEC spring meetings. I think those are scheduled for like the first week in June. So we'll have some news coming up there. And I've got some news that I just can't share yet, but I will soon. So keep your eyes on the show. Keep your ears to the ground. Follow us on the socials. Come on over to Plus. We're having a good time over there. You'll learn about everything there first. So if you want to be one of the people who know first, that's where you got to be. Just know that I'll keep you guys in the loop as much as possible. Y'all take care of yourselves. Have a great week. And until Wednesday night, make sure that we're cheering on those softball dogs, cheering on the baseball dogs, and, hoping for some big commit news over the next few weeks, because I feel confident we're going to have some headed our way. Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, take care of your friends and your family, and as always, go Dogs!